Okay, how you doing today? And I want to thank you for coming in and telling your story. Uh, First off, I want to know where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay. And so how was your childhood? Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you
It
grew
was
up.
pretty good. I had my both parents and my grandparents. So I had all my family here raised up with a great family support.
So it was like a close knit family.
Yes,
Everybody
yeah,
kind of looked out for each other
yes,
and made sure everybody was okay.
yes.
Now, at some point, you started to have children. How many children do you have?
I had three.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your kids. A little bit about your
Well,
kids.
I had two girls and a boy.
Okay,
Rashawn was my only son,
okay.
and he was the middle child.
He's a messenger. So you had two girls, one girl first. And your son Rashawn, how was he as a small child growing up?
He was great. He was the sweetest. He loved to smile all the time. He was just so lovable.
Okay, so he had a good personality, fun guy.
Yes,
Did you like play video games and stuff
all
too?
the time.
Video
That's
games?
all he ever
He
wanted
was a
to do.
gamer.
Yes.
Okay, so how was you and Rashad personal relationship? How, was he a mama's boy? Like,
Yeah, it was great. Now he loved his mama. When I used to go to the school, they say that's all Rashawn talk about his mama, his mama, his mama. So, he loved me, his mama.
okay.
So
And what about the relationship with his siblings?
great, especially with his older sister.
Okay.
Like they had a bond that was
Were
undeniable.
they close
Like,
in age?
yeah, they was
Okay.
only like 3 years apart.
Okay, okay, okay. Did he have a relationship with his father?
Yeah, great relationship with his dad, Rodney Barnes.
Okay.
Yes, he loved him.
Now, when he started going to high school, was he like a popular young kid? Or
Very,
lots of
very.
friends?
Yes,
Few
that's
girlfriends?
a lot, a lot. I'm like, Sean, what is you doing? But yes, he had a lot.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
so
he
that's good.
became very popular as he got older.
Okay, okay, cool. Now, that brings us to the day of August the 6th, 2018. How did you get your day started that day?
Well, I was on third shift, and I got off of work that morning at 7. And my daughter, she had just had her daughter, my grandbaby, on August the 3rd. So
Okay,
she called me and she was like, Mom, Sean ate all my cereal.
okay,
I'm like, shit, I'll get you some more when I get off. So I started to the grocery store, get a box of Fruity Pebbles, so she could have when she come home with the baby. So when I get home, I was like, here, get your cereal. So she was like, she had to go back to the hospital to
okay,
see the baby because,
okay.
she was born on August the 3rd. They didn't release her
Yeah,
right
they
then.
keep
So,
that.
so all the boys were back there. So I said, she was like, Mom, they making too much noise. So I said, Sheik, when the baby come home, everybody got to go. It ain't going to be no more everybody hanging out over here.
Gotcha.
So I called Sean in the room. I said, look, Sean, I said, when she come home with the baby, they got to go. Ain't no more hanging out. He was like, okay, Mom, okay, okay, okay.
So it was. I'm gonna cut you off for a second. So it was a normal thing to have his friends over
Yeah,
and play
yes,
video games, just
yes.
hanging
Yeah,
out.
they spent a
Okay,
night over there,
okay.
not feed him. Like, I'm just glad he home
Yeah,
and not in
gotcha,
the street. So,
gotcha.
it was a normal thing. Sometimes I come out for work, they sitting out there in their car sleep, wanting to
Okay,
come in the house because he sleep, he ain't hear him, so I let him in.
okay,
So, it was a normal thing for us.
gotcha. But on this particular day, you was telling him that
Like after starting Monday, the
it's
baby coming home
decent to come
Monday,
home. Oh yeah.
everybody got to go.
Okay,
Ain't gonna be no more hanging out over here.
okay. So
Cause
he
their
agreed.
rooms was on the same end of the hallway. Her room right across from his. So if they end up making a lot of noise, it's gonna disturb the baby. So that was my main thing. Like Monday, it's over.
Now, as the afternoon is going on this day, everything seemed normal. Uh, they're playing video games, and that evening, tell me what you know about that evening.
Okay, so like I said, I got off work that morning. So after all that went on, I went in, went to bed to get ready for work that night. So Sean, my fiance, he always bring me something to eat, so I won't have to come out. So I told Sean, I said, Sean, go get the food from, his name Sean as well. So I was like, go get my food from Sean. He goes and get it, and he comes back in the room. He was like, Mom, save me some. I ain't gonna never forget, he brought me some eggs. So Sean was like, save me some of that. So I was like, no, cause whatever I don't eat, I'm taking it to work tonight. But he had that big smile on his face, like, Mom, come on, like, save me some, save me some. But I was like, I said, boy, leave me alone. So that was the end of that. He goes out, he shut my door. So I'm on the phone. I never forget, I'm on the phone with my cousin. She was telling me about another cousin that had passed on my dad's side, whatever, whatever. So then I get a knock on the door and somebody like, Miss Tisha, Sean passed out playing a video game. And I'm like, what? So I opened my door. He was like, yeah, we playing a video game. Sean just passed out. So, now at this point, I'm like, what? So when I go in the room, Sean, he's just laying on the floor like he just had passed out. So I'm crying and I'm calling 911. I'm telling them, like, my son just passed out playing a video game, whatever. So they were like, we get an ambulance on the way. I was like, where y'all at? Like, please get here. So it seemed like it was taking them forever. So I told the boys, I was like, look, just put him in the car. So when I goes to open the door for them to put him in the car, I unlock my car door. I see the other gentleman that has, we come to find out later had did it. He was walking across the yard, but I'm thinking he was coming to get in the car, wait for me to get in the car.
Okay.
But as we get in the car, it was only the other two gentlemen that got in the car with us.
Okay. So in all, it was
Three.
It was three of his friends and him. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So as I'm getting in the car, like putting my clothes on, they already got him in the car. So when I got in the car, I didn't see the other gentleman. So I'm like, well, maybe he gonna just meet us at the hospital or whatever. So we get to the hospital, I meet the ambulance. I'm flying on 2 wheels. I get by the skating ring. The ambulance, they stopped me, come tell me I got my flashers on, I'm on a gray Charger, I'm wide open. So they stopped me right in front of the skating ring, transport him to the ambulance. So, as things go, I'm like, in my mind, I'm still thinking he just passed out. So I was like, okay, it's going to be all right. So when I get to the hospital, the nurse was like, can I speak to you? And I was like, yes. She was like, do you know he been shot? So, I'm looking at her like, what? She was like, yes, he's been shot. And I was like, no, they say he just passed out. So, she was like, but we working on him. We trying to get him bad or whatever, bring him bad. We working on him, get him stable. So from that moment on, when it came out and said he didn't make it, it's just, my world went completely blank at that moment, so.
So at the house, his three friends, one of his friends come to your door and just tell you that he passes out. Nobody mentions that he's been shot.
Yeah, I don't want no blood in the room, want no blood in my car. It was nothing. So that's why I assumed that that's what happened.
So you get to the hospital and the nurse pulled you to the side and say that, did you know he's been shot? So that's heartbreaking. Then she later came back and told you that he didn't make it?
Yes.
And at this particular time, were his friends still at the hospital?
Two of them. Two of them. The one that I seen, the gentleman walk across the yard, he didn't ever come.
Okay, he didn't come. And so two of them were.
Well, they stayed at a whole while.
And so ultimately, they knew that he had been shot. They just didn't say nothing at the time. Now I wanted to speak about his friends real quick for a second. I'm assuming these are young men that he knew closely, you knew closely, by the way you spoke about them earlier. These are people you trusted, he trusted, and would you see, as far as you know, they were good children. They're not. I mean, the young men. I would say young men.
That is pretty much.
And you wouldn't even believe that they would do harm to him, and
especially not to him. He called them his brothers, like he loved them more than anything. Like, so because he loved them, I loved them.
At this point, I'm gonna say it. Right after you found out that he didn't make it, did the police come talk to you or anything?
I don't know what happened that day. All I know was after they said he didn't make it, I think I just left the hospital. And I don't know where I went. I don't know. But eventually I ended up going back to the hospital.
Okay.
And that's when they talked to me. Like, I don't know where I went for the next couple hours after here. Yeah, because I just don't know. So I eventually, it was that night when I returned back to the hospital, and that's when everybody was like, they had to take my car because, I did transport him halfway to the hospital. So they wanted, they took it. They towed it from the hospital, and, from that moment on.
So they were involved at some point.
Yeah.
Was anyone charged?
Well, yes,
Arrested?
all three of them was charged,
Okay.
but only one served any time because they said it was self-defense. Well, not self-defense, but it was an accident.
Okay. Okay.
It was an accident.
So, okay. So tell me, because this is a tragic moment, and everyone's life. You know, your life, your family, and I'm sure other people's family was affected by this, especially by his age. How old was he when he passed away?
16.
16 years old. Wow.
16.
And this is something that affects a whole community
Everyone.
at that age.
Everyone.
Was it like a candlelight?
Yes, we had a candlelight vigil. News reporters, everyone came out because I had a lot of news report at my house today, but I try to stay away from my house because I was just going through so much at that time.
Yeah,
So
which is normal.
but they did come to the vigil, and like I said, from that day of till after the funeral, it's like
Yeah, I know, I can't even imagine, to be honest. I probably wouldn't want to deal with anybody or anything at that time. But so tell me how this affected your family, his siblings, your mom,
his
dad.
his oldest sister. Oh, she went through it. Like, I think that's the only reason why I had to stay so strong was because of her. Because it just devastated her. That was my son, but that was her baby. And when I say they were like freaking frat, like it wasn't no separating them, it was nothing. And Sean, he had a speech delay when he was younger, so she always would tell me what he say. I like, what he say, Sheikah? She had to tell me. So that's how I just closed day with it. She could understand him when I couldn't.
Exactly. Wow.
So,
That's a tight bond. What about his youngest sister?
she loved him. She loved him so much. Like, it's just ridiculous. They both loved him. They both had a bond with him. And it affected her a lot too with school. And everybody just trying to get through the best they can. It's
So what was the healing process like? Like, did you seek counseling or
it's still a process. And I'm just reaching out to start counseling this month, matter of fact. But I just try to be so strong and felt like I didn't need it at the beginning. My primary care, they prescribed me so much medicine, like to help me sleep, but I hate taking medicine, so I didn't take it. But, I just dealt with it the best way I can, but now it's like the feelings is getting so strong that I feel like I need to talk to somebody because I feel like I got my daughter to the point where she okay.
Okay.
But my oldest one, because she was so hurt that I didn't receive her. I try to be strong for her, but like now it's like it's breaking me.
Exactly.
The more, so now I need to get help for me.
Of course. Which is natural. That's I would definitely recommend that. Because it's holding something inside like that is rough. I only have a few more questions for you. What is your favorite memory? Would you say?
His smile.
His smile.
He was always smiling. No matter if you fussing at him, he's smiling. Mom, what you talking about? Chill, Mom. He never really took nothing serious. It was just a smile for me. His big smile.
Okay. Now, this is the final question. I'm going to see a lot of young men, young teenagers. It's cool to carry guns, in a culture that we have, the music that we listen to, it's put out there that you need a gun to be in a certain neighborhood and this type of thing. But I don't think a lot of kids realize the effects that it has when a situation like this, how it affects their family, the person who died family, their siblings, their young, there's a lot of people affected by this. What would you say to a teen or a young man that's thinking it's okay for carry guns?
It's not worth it. Put the guns down. It is not worth it. This is a fate that's I'm going to deal with for the rest of my life. like in my family. Like it's just something that we have to deal with every day. It's never a day I don't think about Sean, but put the guns down.
Gotcha.
It's not cool at all.
Gotcha. That's deep. And I just want to say though, I really appreciate you coming in and being transparent. And I know this is something hard to speak about. Uh, we wish you the best. We thank you for coming in, being honest and transparent. We're sorry that this happened to you and your family. Uh, the mission of my life, my story, is to get a message out to a younger generation. And this is going to help provide them with that information. So we thank you for that, and we thank you for
And I
coming
thank
in.
y'all.
And we hope that you can, continue healing, and you and your family. And if you need anything, we'll be here for you.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thank
y'all
you.
so much.
All right.